Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we are taking a really fascinating plunge into some source material that gives us not one but two incredibly distinct and frankly baffling mysteries.
Yeah, it's quite a setup.
Right.
Yeah.
So imagine this. You've got an art teacher who vanishes, just gone. Then she reappears, but the circumstances are, well, they're perplexing, to say the least. It pulls us right into this maze of hidden secrets, unexpected motives.
And then just when you think you're getting a handle on that complexity.
Exactly. Our same listener, Luna, who brought us the first mystery, comes back with something else entirely. She's convinced there are aliens making, scheduled visits.
Regularly scheduled alien encounters, yeah.
It sounds wild, but this deep dive is all about unraveling those threads. First, the teacher's vanishing act, and then pivoting to this alien encounter that actually turns out to reveal a really gritty, very real-world truth.
And our job, like always, is to sift through all the details, pull out the crucial bits of knowledge, and basically give you the shortcut to being well-informed without drowning in information. These two cases, even though they seem worlds apart, are really fascinating studies in how easily perception gets disconnected from reality, how appearances can be just completely deceiving.
That's such a good point. It makes you wonder how often our first take on something is just way off base,
Constantly, probably.
So let's just dive in. The first story kicks off with a student named Luna. And you really need to lean in for this one because it shows just how fast a missing person's case can spiral into something way more complex, way more layered, and honestly surprising.
It starts at lunch, right? Luna comes up to Cass and Jada.
Yeah, she's practically frantic, worried, sick. She's begging them, basically, take this case, find my art teacher.
And the teacher's name is Prin Belcour, been missing 3 days at this point.
And Luna herself found out she was missing. Went to her house, nobody home. Alarming.
And right away, you see how desperate Luna is. She offers to pay Cass, even mentions paying in crypto.
Which is interesting, isn't it? Using crypto.
Well, it suggests urgency, maybe a need for speed, perhaps even anonymity. But mostly, I think it just highlights how much she believes in Cass's skills and how badly she needs this solved. It really underlines the gravity of it for her.
Yeah, it definitely signals this isn't just casual concern. And almost immediately, right there at lunch, we get a taste of their high school reality.
The social dynamics kick in.
Well, Luna's pouring her heart out. This guy, Travis tricked Dolly. Classic bully type.
Ugh, always one of those.
Right. He wanders over and starts hassling Luna and Jada, too. But Jada...
Wow. Jada doesn't mess around.
Not even slightly. Her protective instinct just flares up. She gets up, leans in, whispers something in Travis's ear, and the change is instantaneous.
Like flipping a switch.
Exactly. He goes from this smug grin to, totally pale, apologetic, skulls away immediately.
The source calls it her go nuclear response.
Oh, that's right.
It's extreme, yeah, but undeniably effective.
You can say that again.
It really shows Jada's fierceness, especially when it comes to protecting Luna, and her willingness to use pretty unconventional tactics to get results fast. The speed of his reaction, from arrogant bully to basically whimpering away, tells you a lot about the power dynamics there, and maybe sets the stage for the kind of outside-the-box thinking they use later on, too.
You really do have to admire her decisiveness, though. She gets things done. So, okay, case accepted, bully dispatched. Cass, Luna, and Jada head off towards Miss Belcour's house to start investigating.
But they don't even make it there first, do they?
No. Before they even get to the door, they run into another classmate, Amber Knox. And here's where things start getting complicated.
Right. The social web starts tangling with the mystery itself. Amber steps in, and she basically warns Cass off Luna.
Yeah, calls Luna ditzy, tells Cass not to associate with her.
It's not just gossip, though. It feels like an attempt to, control things, reinforce the social hierarchy, maybe. It immediately paints Amber as someone with strong opinions, maybe some influence.
And you immediately wonder, why? What's her angle here?
Exactly. Who's setting the narrative in this school?
But Cass, true to form, just shuts it down. Tells Amber straight up, Luna's my friend. I don't care what the school thinks. Which is pretty cool, standing up like that.
Definitely shows her loyalty. But then Amber does something unexpected.
Yeah, she pivots. Despite that dismissive start, she actually starts sharing some really interesting, kind of complex stuff about Miss Belcour.
It moves beyond just gossip. She gives this dual picture of the teacher. On one hand, always bright and cheerful in class, professional, maybe even putting on a show.
Right, the teacher persona.
But then Amber adds that when Miss Belcour wasn't on, she seemed different. lonely, and desperate.
Okay, let's unpack that. Being on versus not. What does that even mean?
Well, it suggests that the cheerful teacher might have been a role she played, right? A public face. And underneath that, maybe she was struggling with things nobody saw.
Makes you wonder how many people are like that. Putting on a brave face while dealing with who knows what.
It definitely adds a layer to Miss Belcour. Makes her more human, maybe.
Absolutely. And Amber doesn't stop there. She adds another layer. Describes Miss Belcour as an amazing artist creating flawless work, but then adds she could dominate the models.
Dominate. That sounds intense.
It does. It suggests more than just artistic control, maybe a really demanding process, possibly a controlling personality, at least when it came to her art. And these models, we learned, were college students, not kids from their school.
Okay, that's an important distinction.
And Amber gives names, Phoebe Bahan and Arthur L. So this whole dominating thing raises questions about the power dynamics in her studio. What was that relationship really like?
Yeah, that's unsettling. It makes Miss Belcour a much more complicated figure than just missing teacher. Adds intrigue, definitely. So they're processing all this, and they finally arrive at Miss Belcour's house, and then the whole thing takes a completely unexpected turn. Yeah, the relief must have been huge, but also confusing. Yeah. Because there she is, Miss Belcour, just walking out of her own house.
But she looks awful, right?
See?
Very discombobulated, unsteady.
Mm-hmm. And she tells him this wild story. Says she was taken, drugged, not fed, woke up unbound on her couch after someone gave her water.
Abductors wore masks, used voice changers.
Exactly. Deliberately anonymous, couldn't identify them at all. Sounds terrifying.
Absolutely terrifying. But here's the part that really gets me. After all that, her first thought isn't hospital. It's not police.
Nope. She wants a burger.
A burger. What's that about? Is it just shock, trauma, or is there something else going on there? Is she thinking strategically?
It's a really good question. Could be purely primal, right? Body craving fuel after deprivation. Comfort food. Normalcy.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
But it could also be strategic, buying time, getting her thoughts straight before facing official questions. Maybe a sign of resilience or calculation, especially given what we learn later.
And she gives a description of the abductors.
Yeah, casual, modern, dark jeans, T-shirts, one man, one woman, looked college age. And then this little detail she drops confirms Amber did model for her. Seems minor, but it'll matter.
So, okay. She's back, shaken, confused, but alive. The mystery instantly shifts. It's not where is she anymore. It's what happened and why.
Exactly. So they go back inside the house, and Cass, being Cass, starts searching immediately, looking for anything out of place.
And she finds stuff pretty quickly, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah. First, a blue ribbon. From an art contest Miss Belcour judged.
Okay, so connection to her work. Makes sense.
Then a clue pointing to an artist whose business was ruined by contest. Suddenly that contest doesn't look so innocent. Looks like a potential motive.
Right, someone lost big time because of her judgment.
Yeah.
But the source says it was an Amber.
Explicitly says not Amber. So it widens the suspect pool again. Forces them to look beyond the obvious connections.
Okay, so a financial motive is on the table. But then Cass finds something even more disturbing in the trash.
The temporary room plans. Printed from the internet.
Plans for what, though?
Instructions on how to make a blanket room.
A blanket room, like building a fort.
Sort of, but for confinement. Cass explains it to Miss Belcour, and the teacher realizes, with horror, that's likely where she was held. In her own basement. In this improvised cell.
Oh my God. That's horrifying. Held captive in your own house in something made from blankets.
It really speaks to the resourcefulness of the abductors, but also the intense vulnerability of the situation. Using everyday items to create a prison, it confirms her story, provides physical evidence, shows they weren't maybe pros, but definitely desperate.
Chilling. Okay, so physical evidence is piling up. What's next? How do they get a lead on who?
The phone. A landline clue. The last number called from the house was for pizza delivery.
Okay, seems normal enough.
But here's the twist. Cass's brother used to prank that specific pizza place.
No way. What are the odds?
Right. So Jada, seeing an opportunity, calls them up, orders a pizza, and because of that past connection, she charms her way into requesting the same driver who delivered during the time Miss Belcour was missing.
That is brilliant. Talk about leveraging a weird connection. Did it work?
It did. The driver remembers the delivery a few days ago, and crucially, he remembers a man paid him. Says he thinks he could recognize him.
Wow. Okay. Huge break. Turning a delivery guy into a key witness.
So they get the driver to help Ms. Belcour sketch the guy.
Yep.
And the sketch, it looks like Devin Holt.
Devin Holt. Another student. So he's now suspect number one.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And Luna confirms Devin was absent from art class the entire time Miss Belcour was missing.
Whoa. That's not a coincidence?
Highly suspicious. Plus, Miss Belcour confirms Devin was never in her contests, never modeled for her. So his motive, if he's involved, isn't the obvious art-related stuff they were thinking about.
Okay, so Devin's absence lines up. What about Amber?
Amber was also absent from school the whole time Miss Belcour was gone.
Okay, wait. Both Devin and Amber were absent simultaneously while a teacher was missing.
Yep. Creates this really unsettling triangle of absences. Screams conspiracy, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
So Kaz confronts Amber directly.
Cuts right to it. Asks her point blank, "Did you help Devin imprison Miss Belcour?"
And Amber says,
No. But Cass knows Amber has this reputation for not lying, so the denial feels off. Cass presses her, watches her, and Amber just goes silent.
silence from someone who supposedly never lies.
Yeah.
That's louder than a confession almost.
It's a huge red flag,
Mm.
suggests she's hiding something big. Then Amber asks to be dropped at Devin's house, saying she's afraid of being set up.
Interesting. Trying to control the narrative.
Yeah.
Or genuinely scared.
Hard to say. But Cass makes a smart call, doesn't take her to Devin's, drops her at school instead, keeps control of the situation. It's like this psychological chess game playing out.
Okay, so Amber's definitely involved somehow but won't talk. Devin's the prime suspect based on the sketch and his absence. What's the next move?
They go to Devin's house. This leads to probably the most ingenious bit of detective work in the whole case.
The printer.
The printer's fingerprint. His mom says he's out hiking. Cass asks to use his computer, says she needs to print a map.
But that's not the real reason, is it?
Not at all. It's a brilliant pretext. She prints the map just to get a fresh sample of his printer's output. Then she compares it to those blanket room plans they found in Miss Belcour's trash.
Ah.
A perfect match. There's a tiny, unique imperfection in the print quality, like a fingerprint for the machine itself. It proves, irrefutably, those plans were printed on Devin's printer.
That is seriously cool, like actual forensics, but using basic observation. Explain that imperfection thing again. How does that work?
Well, think about it. Every inkjet printer, right? Over time, tiny things happen. Nozzles get slightly clogged or misaligned. Rollers leave faint marks. The paper feed might be microscopically off. These create a unique pattern, like microscopic scratches.
Ah, okay. Like wear and tear creates the signature.
Exactly, like a fingerprint or tire treads, like you said. So by comparing the known document, the plans, to a fresh sample from his printer, Cass matched that unique damage pattern. It directly links him to the kidnapping prep. It's brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. So when Devin gets back from his hike,
Cass confronts him immediately. Asks if Amber told him to make himself scarce. He admits yes. Then Cass lays out the printer evidence, the inkjet fingerprint.
and Devin's reaction, he's supposed to be a charmer, right? A schemer.
That's his reputation. But faced with this, he doesn't try anything. No charm, no excuses, no schemes. He just shuts down, goes silent, totally cornered.
Wow. The evidence is just too strong.
It seems so. Cass tries to leverage it, threatens to go to cops, suggests it might go easier if he gives up his accomplice, throw someone else under the bus.
Standard interrogation tactic.
Right.
Did it work? Did he name Amber or Phoebe?
Nope. He stays completely silent, refuses to name anyone,
Yeah.
which is also interesting. Why the loyalty? What are they protecting that's so important?
Good question. So Devin's caught, but silent on accomplices. Where do they go next?
To the other potential accomplice, Phoebe Bahan, the college student model.
Right, Amber mentioned her. How do they find her?
They track her down at Smith College. Smart investigators. They use a cover story, pretending to be looking for models for Miss Belcour's substitute. Plays on her known connection.
Clever. And they confront her.
Yeah, they drop Devin's name, say they're friends, claim he told us all about her. It's a bluff, trying to get her to react.
Gosh.
Then Cass hits her with something really sharp. Says Miss Belcour saw you. Not her face, because of the masks, but her body. And as an artist, she noticed unique details.
Ooh, that's psychologically brutal. Identifying someone by their physical form, especially when they modeled for the victim.
Exactly. It bypasses disguises. But Phoebe still refuses to talk. Even when they tell her Devin's supposedly in custody, that the pizza guy saw his face, she stays silent.
Okay, so now two people are stonewalling them. Devin and Phoebe. There has to be a massive secret here, something they're desperate to keep hidden.
That's the only explanation. So go back to Miss Belcour one more time. Press her. Is the thing missing? Anything at all?
And this is it, isn't it? The final piece.
This is the moment the real motive comes out. Miss Belcourt confirms, yes, something is missing. A painting.
Okay. A what paint?
A painting by Devon. And it was a nude of Amber.
What, a nude painting
Mm-hmm.
of Amber, who's underage.
Yeah.
Painted by Devon.
Yes. And Miss Belcourt admits she has a photo of this painting. And that painting, its existence, the scandal, that's why she was lying about Amber's involvement earlier. Why she was being evasive. She didn't want it to come out.
Oh, my God. So the kidnapping, it wasn't about the art contest or revenge or anything like that?
No, it was all about concealing that painting. A desperate, incredibly risky attempt to bury a potentially explosive secret.
Unbelievable. Just, wow, that changes the entire complexion of the crime. It wasn't purely malicious. It was about covering up something potentially life-ruining.
Exactly. Which brings us to Miss Belcourt's final, really shocking decision.
Right. She refuses to call the police on Devon, the guy who orchestrated her kidnapping.
It's stunning, isn't it, from a victim? She reveals the full story. Devon was planning to submit that nude painting of Amber to an art contest.
He was going to submit it publicly?
But apparently, Amber realized the catastrophic implications, him going down as a pedophile. Her life ruined and confronted him. She destroyed the actual painting.
Okay, so Amber destroyed the evidence, but the photo still exists.
Presumably, Miss Belcourt still has the photo, but instead of legal charges for the kidnapping, Miss Belcourt decides the school should handle it. Devon gets expelled. Amber gets suspended.
It just feels incredibly lenient. Kidnapping. You have to wonder why.
The source is clear on this. While her background escaping the Iron Curtain, being self-reliant, might play a role in her pragmatic outlook, her stated reason is protecting Amber. Preventing that nude photo, proof of a serious crime against a minor, from ever becoming public knowledge and destroying Amber's future.
So she sacrifices her own sense of justice, or at least legal retribution, for Amber's sake.
It seems so. It's a complex moral choice, isn't it? It forces you, the listener, to really think about what justice even means in a situation like this. Is it always about punishment? Or are there other factors, like protecting a young person from devastating public fallout?
It's deeply challenging. Shows how messy real life is compared to, clear-cut crime stories. Motivations are tangled. Consequences are weighed differently by different people.
Precisely. It reveals the kidnapping wasn't just random violence, but a profoundly misguided, desperate act rooted in fear of exposure. A powerful reminder of the lengths people go to protect secrets.
What an absolute roller coaster that first case was.
Yeah.
Just layers upon layers. You'd think Cass and Jada earned a break after that.
You would think, but trouble, or at least strangeness, seems to find them.
Or maybe Luna finds it for them. Because just 2 weeks later, she's back. And she hasn't let go of her other mystery.
Yes, the aliens.
The ones who apparently keep a very strict schedule.
Yeah.
Coming back the third Sunday of every month.
The contrast is almost jarring, isn't it? From the dark, complex human drama of the kidnapping to scheduled UFOs.
It really is. But it perfectly sets up the next twist, playing on Luna's unique worldview before revealing something else entirely.
Highlights that gap again between perception and reality, her almost innocent belief versus what's actually happening.
And Cass and Jada, being the good friends they are, agree to go with her on an alien stakeout.
Cass brings her camera, naturally prepared for anything.
And Jada, she bakes cookies, Reese's cookies, for the aliens.
You gotta love Jada. Ready for close encounters of the baked good kind.
It's that mix of serious investigation and just pure high school charm. So off they go. Sunday night, football field bleachers, ready for Luna's aliens.
Cass sets up a camera, tripod, the whole deal. And they wait. And then something actually happens.
Lights appear. A sound.
Yep. Lights in the distance, getting closer. A low droning sound. Something hovers right over the middle of the field, 50-yard line, drops a package, then takes off.
Yeah, just like Luna predicted.
Exactly like she predicted. It fits the UFO narrative perfectly, builds that suspense. Could she actually be right this time?
You're almost hoping she is, in a weird way. But Cass, she has good instincts.
Very good instincts. Jada wants to run out and grab the package immediately, right? Pure curiosity.
Yeah, totally, Jada. But Cass pulls her back, says, wait, stay hidden. Let's see who comes for it.
And that moment of patience, of observation, that's when the alien theory completely dissolves.
And reality hits hard.
A pickup truck pulls into the parking lot, beat up old thing, 4 guys get out, looking rather unsavory, as the source puts it.
Not exactly E.T.'s welcoming committee.
Not quite. They walk straight to the 50-yard line, grab the package like they've done it 100 times, get back in the truck, and leave.
So Cass's instinct was spot on. Waiting revealed the truth. No aliens. Just a drop.
The criminal drop. The whole perception shifts instantly. From sci-fi mystery to active crime scene shows how quickly we jump to conclusions, especially when we want to believe something fantastical.
And Cass reacts incredibly fast, right? Doesn't just stand there.
Instantly. Pulls out her phone, texts a picture of the license plate to 911, then calls, explains calmly, "A drone just dropped a suspicious package. 4 guys picked it up."
Gives descriptions, direction.
Everything. Texts pictures of the guys, says they took a left onto Main Saint. Just incredibly efficient, accurate information relay.
That's amazing presence of mind. Using tech effectively to help law enforcement in real time.
Absolutely crucial. Providing that level of immediate detail, plate number, photos, direction, dramatically increases the chances of catching them.
And the police respond quickly.
Very quickly. They show up, take statements from the girls, get the pictures, the video Cass took, and they confirm. They stopped the truck, found the package.
Did they say what was in it?
Not right away. Said it was an ongoing investigation, but the source material later confirms what it was.
And it wasn't alien technology or cookies?
No, it was fentanyl.
Fentanyl? Wow. Okay, so Luna's regularly scheduled aliens were actually drug dealers running a drone delivery service for one of the deadliest drugs out there.
That's the horrifying reality. Fentanyl is incredibly potent. We're talking 50 to 100 times stronger than morphine. A lethal dose can be minuscule, just a few grains.
So finding that on a high school football field, that's not just a drug bust. That's averting potential tragedy.
Absolutely. It instantly grounds Luna's imaginative theory in a terrifyingly real and dangerous context. It's a stark reminder of the hidden dangers that can exist right under our noses in the most mundane places.
So when you step back and look at both stories together, the missing teacher, the aliens, it's really striking, isn't it?
It really is. Both cases, though so different on the surface, are fundamentally about uncovering hidden truths, things that were deliberately concealed or wildly misinterpreted.
Yeah, the teacher's disappearance wasn't what it seemed. It was this complex cover-up for the painting scandal.
Yeah.
And the aliens weren't aliens at all, but something far more dangerous and real.
And it says so much about perception versus reality, doesn't it? How our biases, our hopes, even our fears shape how we see things initially. Luna saw aliens because she was open to that possibility. The initial assumption about Ms. Belcour might have been simpler before the layers got peeled back.
And think about the choices people made under pressure. Ms. Belcour choosing to protect Amber over pursuing legal action for herself.
Yeah.
That's a really challenging decision. It makes you question what justice even looks like sometimes.
It does. It shows that justice isn't always a courtroom drama. Sometimes it's about mitigating harm, protecting reputations, especially with young people involved. It complicates the idea of right and wrong, doesn't it?
Definitely. And it highlights the power of just paying attention, of digging deeper.
That's the other big takeaway, right? The investigation itself.
Yeah. Think about the clues. The ribbon, the blanket room planned small details that became huge. The printer fingerprint, sheer ingenuity. Using the pizza prank connection. Staying hidden during the drug drop.
All different techniques, but all rooted in careful observation, persistence, and really clever thinking, not accepting the surface story.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, for you listening, it's a reminder to question assumptions, isn't it? To look beyond what seems obvious.
Exactly. And to understand the complex reasons behind people's actions. Fear, desperation, protection, greed. It all drives behavior in ways that aren't always clear at first glance. The consequences ranged hugely, too, from school suspension to major felony charges.
So what does all this mean for you? As you go through your week, maybe think about your own perceptions. How often are your first takes on situations or people actually accurate? What aliens, what hidden truths or unexpected realities might be lurking just beneath the surface of your everyday life?
Yeah, we encourage you to be a bit like Cass. Always look for that fingerprint, that little detail that doesn't quite fit. Apply that critical thinking, that curiosity to the world around you. What stands out to you about these stories? About how they unfolded, how they were solved? What might you uncover if you just look a little closer?
Great thought to end on. And with that, we wrap up another deep dive. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and definitely keep looking beyond the surface.